Assalamualaikum. Welcome back to Geo Langkawi Live with me, DJ Ray, and tonight I have a very special guest with me, Mr. Francis. How are you, sir?
I'm very well, thank you. Good evening.
Welcome to the show. And tonight we would like to talk about tourist guide, and especially for the students, yeah?
Yes, that's right.
And how they can go about to deliver their topic in the bus for their final exam. So for this final exam, this is arranged by the Ministry of Tourism.
Correct.
And Mr. Francis is a trainer for Geo Training Studio Langkawi.
That's right.
We'll be back in a moment. Good evening once again and welcome back, Mr. Francis. So I believe you are a tourist guide for yourself, yeah?
Yes.
And how do you really take care of your customers?
Well, basically is to ensure that we project Malaysian hospitality. So be it whether the guests are from Malaysia, so that would be Langkawi hospitality. But for guests from the different parts of the world, Malaysia famous for being a hospitable host.
Hospitable host.
Yes.
Maybe we could be the most hospitable host in the world.
Probably, yes.
Alright, tonight our students who are going to sit for the exam, we will try to guide them through this platform, and we choose the topic Galeria Perdana because it's related to Tun Mahathir.
Correct.
And this Galeria Perdana, for you, how do we go about explaining to the tourists?
Well, firstly is to tell tourists why history is important to a country, because the character of a country is related to history. And this is a very unique museum because the Galeria Perdana comes under the Department of Museums. And this building was opened on 3rd December 1995. And the whole purpose of this museum was actually to exhibit the awards and gifts given to Tun Dr. Mahathir and Tun Dr. Siti Hasma during the tenure of his first premiership.
Yeah. So basically you had to define the place. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I may have missed on that point, but basically the location is important because guests will want to know where is it located. So it is located in the area called Kilim, which is 11 kilometers from Kuala Town.
Okay, first of all we define the place and then we explain where the location is, and then it comes to the core of the subject.
Correct.
Which is the content of the place. So let's see, what would you say about Galeria Perdana then?
Well, I would first describe the architecture of the building. It's oriental in architecture. It consists of 3 double-story buildings that are interconnected. So visitors have a seamless view of all the gifts, so that when they walk from one building to the other or from one hall to the other, they basically do not miss any of the exhibits.
Alright, what about the specialty of the exhibits inside? Should we zoom into one of the products, for example?
I think the most interesting exhibits will be those on the upper floor, which probably you might say would be the most valuable because these are honors bestowed by heads of state.
Heads of state.
Yeah.
Okay, that could be a key word to the tourists. They want to see what the states of heads provided or delivered to Mahathir.
Yes, so there were gifts from the Queen of England.
And the Queen of England too.
Yes.
That is interesting.
The presidents of various countries like the United States as an example, and other very important honors bestowed by presidents and also leading figures from different parts of the world.
Do you think they should describe one of the items? Because when you talk in the bus, as a tourist guide, you are not using any item to show to the guests. So should they describe a little bit of at least one of the items inside?
One of the items would be a diamond pendant that was presented by the Emir of Kuwait, and an extremely valuable item. And this is one of the things that guests would be fascinated with by looking at them. But it's also important to note that the total number of exhibits in Galleria Perdana number 9,000.
How many?
9,000.
9,000 units of exhibits.
Yes. But however, at any one time, 3,000 exhibits are on display. And
I see.
Yeah,
so they rotate.
They rotate.
Okay.
So the Department of Museum will rotate it at a regular schedule. So it gives people an opportunity of wanting to come back to Langkawi and making Galleria Perdana a point of visit again.
All right. Other than the interesting exhibits inside, the location and the definition, all we have said, what other things could a tourist guide, the student, could attract the customers into wanting to go there?
Well, Galleria Perdana would be something that I would say it's educational.
Yes.
Okay, educational, because while Langkawi is famous for sightseeing, looking at places of interest, nature, but by coming to Galleria Perdana, they come away with a sense of the nation's history, particularly the tenure of Tun Dr. Mahathir, initially from 1981 to 2003. And of course, we know that today he is back in the seat as Prime Minister since May 9th of this year.
9th of May this year, just
right.
recently.
Right.
And do you think the student need to explain the entrance fees and so forth?
Yes, they do, for the purposes of information.
Yeah.
So for guests from outside of Malaysia, the entrance fee is a reasonable 10 ringgit for adults, 5 ringgit for children. For Malaysians, with the My Card, they are charged at 5 ringgit for adults and 2 ringgit for children.
Okay, so basically when we start from the beginning, it is a definition, the location and the content, and then the entrance fee.
Yes.
And then should we also explain to them what other facilities are surrounded around that area, perhaps?
Well, basically I think coming to Galleria Perdana, in a way, while wanting guests to enjoy the ambience and stuff like that, it's also something a little bit serious in my opinion. So you are not distracted by unnecessary shops selling curios and souvenirs, but there are basic facilities where members of the Muslim community can go to do their prayers, and there are sufficient restrooms for them to freshen up, and once they are ready, they are able to leave Galleria Perdana in comfort to their next destination.
Okay, is there any kind of souvenir shop available around there?
Not at the moment.
A postcard shop, for example?
You can pick up some souvenirs, but it is a small area. But this is, I think, something that they're going to plan for the future. Now that Dr. Mahathir is back in power, I think they're re-looking at revamping Galleria Perdana again.
Okay. We have 1 minute now. What will be your advice to your students who will be sitting for the exam in December?
Well, my advice is to read a lot, to know the happenings that are going on in the country, because a lot of it is general knowledge, and they need to know what is going on in terms of festivals, in terms of food, in terms of our culture, and that will be important, and that comes with reading.
And basically they have to be alert with all the latest information.
Correct.
Because they are also the ambassador of the country.
Correct.
Because the first contact of the customers of the
is the tourist guide.
Is the tourist guide.
Right.
So whatever they show to the tourist guide is going to be the first impression of our country.
Exactly.
Am I right?
Right.
All right. So thank you very much, Mr. Francis. We'll see you again in a different topic very soon.
Thank you very much.
Assalamualaikum.